What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast, back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got Dustin on the show. What's up, Dustin?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, good to have you back on. You always bring the knowledge, so good shit. This episode, we're going to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars and preview the 2020 season. Last year, the Jaguars went 6-10 and finished last in the AFC South. If you remember, they signed Nick Foles to start the year for a 4-year, $88 million deal, but he suffered a broken left clavicle in the first quarter of week one that derailed his season and forced sixth-round pick Gardner Minshew into action. Dustin Minshew, despite getting thrown in there, actually had a pretty good season.
Yeah, he did very well. And, I mean, I always knew him coming out of Washington State that he'd be a good quarterback in the future for the Jags.
Nice. You liked him coming out?
Oh, yeah. He threw for, a lot of touchdowns in college and was a very, very accurate quarterback with a big arm.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a pretty good year. I mean, you can't complain there. What's going to help him, I think, here in year two is new offensive coordinator Jay Gruden. I mean, some people aren't as high on him, but he is, supposed to be a pretty good play caller. I mean, the Redskins didn't really show it, but what do you think of Jay Gruden?
Well, I mean, you have to think Washington was a dumpster fire anyways.
Yeah.
So he really didn't have the talent to even, show what his offensive abilities can be.
That's true.
Play calling wise.
That's true. Before Alex Smith got that broken leg, the Redskins were actually fighting for the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, you had backup Colt McCoy come in and –
yeah. Then you had Case Keenum and
Case Keenum,
Ricky Haskins. So it's it's the Washington football team now. Gotta call them that. So looking at their ads, they add tight end Tyler Eifert. The Jaguars do. Linebacker Joe Schobert. Defensive end Rodney Gunter. Defensive tackle Al Woods. Linebacker Cassius Marsh. Corner Rashawn Melvin, and running back Chris Thompson. What do you think of the Tyler Eifert ad in Jacksonville? I know you're a Notre Dame fan. Do you think are you still a fan of Eifert, and do you think he can help Gardner Minshew?
I do, but his main problem is, it's like with a lot of these good players, man, stay healthy. He hasn't been healthy in Cincinnati since he's been there.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what he needs is a new start somewhere else in Jacksonville. But health is a tricky thing.
He's definitely a big target.
Yeah.
With a big body, good hands, somebody that Gardner can lean on.
Yeah, absolutely, if healthy. Then in the draft, I thought they did pretty well in the draft. Taking corner C.J. Henderson out of Florida in the first round, linebacker K'Lavon Chaisson in the first round at LSU, edge linebacker, potential Yannick Ngakoue replacement. They take wide receiver Laviska Shenault in the second round out of Colorado. Shaq Quarterman in the fourth round, another linebacker, and wide receiver Colin Johnson in the fifth round out of Texas. What do you think of the Jaguars draft? I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, they are beefing up their defense, which they've always been, somewhat of a good defensive team.
Yeah.
K'Lavon Chaisson was I had him, I think, back in my top 20 when I did the draft. And then C.J. Henderson, I had him, I think, like top 15 or 16, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And, two good SEC players that were ready for the NFL pretty early in their careers, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're going to be a lot of fun to watch. Chaisson, great edge defender. C.J. Henderson will be the Ramsey, replacement. They're doing a good job replacing the pieces they're losing. So, good young talent in Jacksonville.
And Laviska Shenault is actually he can play very many different spots, like tailback and receiver, kick return.
Nice.
Dynamic player.
Yeah, that's good. I could see them using him a lot this coming year as a rookie. Losses, they did lose Nick Foles, traded him to Chicago. Defensive end Calais Campbell traded him to the Ravens. Corner A.J. Bouye traded to the Broncos, and defensive tackle Marcel Darius, who's still a free agent, got released. How do you feel about Calais Campbell leaving Jacksonville to go to the Ravens? That's a big loss for the Jags.
Oh, yeah. Calais Campbell, besides Jalen Ramsey, was their best defensive player.
Yeah.
So anytime you lose, a veteran, a leader on defense, it's always a big loss.
So looking at players to watch in 2020, I mean, obviously the rookies, like we just mentioned. Second-year defensive end Josh Allen, who came in as a rookie last year and recorded 10.5 sacks. Hell of a start for Josh Allen. Were you high on him coming out of the draft?
Yes, I was. I knew he had the ability. I mean, in college, he was a straight monster.
Yeah.
So he was already NFL ready.
Yeah, he was pretty monstrous his first year in the NFL. What do you expect for Gardner Minshew in 2020? Do you expect another step up, another step forward, and continued development? Or do you think maybe he takes a step back? What do you think?
I know he won't take a step back. I do say that he's going to level up a little bit, but I can't say he's going to level up a lot because he really doesn't have the talent around him yet.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If you give him another 2 to 5 years, I think the Jags can be in contention.
What do you say when I say these names, though? DJ Chark, D.D. Westbrook, Keelan Cole, Laviska Shenault, the rookie. I mean, those are decent weapons.
Yeah.
Chris Conley even.
DJ Chark had a good season.
I like DJ Chark.
Man, did he burn the Colts, man. He used to make me so angry.
I mean, D.D. Westbrook, he's not bad. Keelan Cole. He can do some damage. Everyone hates on the Jags and says they don't have much talent. But then when you look at their actual roster, there's some talent there. Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, but, they're like all these other teams with talent. They don't push themselves over the top to prove that they can, compete with the best.
Yeah.
AKA Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, and the Jags are in a tough division. I mean, you look at the Colts, the Titans, the Texans, all playoff caliber teams.
Yes.
Speaking of handling their business for the Jaguars, let's talk a little bit about star defensive end Yannick Ngakoue drama. He asked for a trade, but the Jags did not trade him. Instead, franchise tagged him for $18 million. Some people think that he's not going to play this year if the team doesn't trade him. But so far, Ngakoue has only made $4 million in his career. So that $18 million has got to be pretty tempting. The owner doesn't want to trade him and believes it would be a bad look for the franchise. But if you remember, the owner also said he would not trade Jalen Ramsey. He said he wouldn't trade Nick Foles. Yannick wants to play for a contender and a winning franchise. We just saw safety Jamal Adams strong-arm his way out of New York. So that's the recipe, but the offer's got to be there. They've received multiple offers, and the Browns are among teams interested in him. The Jags are reportedly, quote, in no rush to trade him unless the asking price comes up, which remains pretty high. What do you think on that?
I mean, if I was Ngakoue, I would want to be traded, because when you're a good player, you want a ring. There's no doubt about that. But at the same time, the future could be bright in Jacksonville with all the young stars that are coming in, the rookies, Chason and Henderson and Minshew, Chark and them. It could be bright in Jacksonville. I mean, not too long ago, they were in the AFC Championship game.
That's true. I mean, players aren't very patient nowadays. The NFL is a not-for-long league. You don't know how many years you're going to have in the league. And so these guys like Jamal Adams earlier this offseason are like, get me out of here. I don't feel like I can contend here. They want to win right now, and they want to feel like that. It's got to be hard going out there for 16 games a year and laying your body on the line and delivering all these hits and risking injury when you don't feel like you have a chance to win many games. And so I can understand that, but I do feel like at the end of the day, that 18 mil is going to look awfully tempting to Yannick come like week one.
Yeah, and I mean, as the old saying goes, go and get your money, you know?
Yeah. Now, if you were the Jags, let's say you're a fan of the Jags or you're running the organization, would you want to trade Yannick and get as much as you can for him? Or would you rather have a disgruntled player on the roster?
In my opinion, I would not want somebody who's going to cause locker room problems.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to bring other problems to your team. You know, he's not going to go in focus to a game. He's going to, just be a cancer.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think either of us are calling Yannick Ngakoue a cancer, but that's what it could lead to. And that's, as an organization, smart organizations avoid situations like that. They've already done it with Jalen Ramsey. So I'm surprised they haven't already moved him. But we'll see how long the stalemate goes. And at the end of the day, if the Jags force him to, I do think Yannick Ngakoue reports and shows up week one and plays. I don't think he'll pull a Zeke Elliott.
No, if I was him, I would play.
Le'Veon Bell. Yeah. What were you saying?
I said if I was him, I would definitely play.
Yeah. Yeah, get that money. So looking at the prediction for the Jags this year, I mean, it's not high in my opinion. I've got them going 4-12 or 5-11. I've got them in that 3 to 6 win range. It's a good, very young roster. I mean, I just think, and if they do struggle this year, then I think they're drafting a quarterback to bring in competition for Minshew, maybe get one higher in the draft. It's not too often you see a 6th-round quarterback turn into that franchise guy, and I'm just worried that maybe Minshew isn't it. I know you disagree with me on that. What do you think? I mean, what's the ceiling on the Jaguars' win total this year with this roster?
I'm going to give them a little bit more love than I should. I'm going to go with 6-10, 7-9.
That's reasonable. That's reasonable.
Just because I think those young guys on defense give them a couple opportunities to win some ball games. Plus, as someone who, has experience from watching the AFC South, those teams at least win and lose one game to each other. So
yeah, I know. It's like the NFC North. When you play division football, throw the records out because these teams are going to play each other super hard, and you never know who's going to win. It's a good point. Now, would you be opposed? Let's say Minshew has a similar year to last year, maybe slightly better, like you think. Would you, if the team goes 6-10, would you be drafting a quarterback next year, or are you riding with Minshew for another couple of years?
I am going to ride with Minshew for another couple of years because it still takes time to develop in the league.
But my worry, I mean, how often do 6th-round quarterbacks develop? I mean, Tom Brady, I can't name another one really.
Dak Prescott.
What wasn't he 4th or something? What was he?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay. My bad. But
yeah, he did get slept on a little bit. He's got talent. I'll agree with you there. I'm just not sure he is the guy. Can you go to the playoffs and win playoff games with Gardner Minshew? That's my question.
Man, that's a tough one.
I know. I mean,
my heart wants to say yeah because, Minshew mania, but
yeah.
That's a tough question.
If any quarterback gets hot, they can. I mean, the Jags seem to be, heading towards rebuild, like gutting the veterans. I mean, they shopped running back Leonard Fournette this offseason. They might be shipping Yannick Ngakoue. Do you see Fournette or Ngakoue finishing 2020 on the Jags? Do you see either or both?
I think Ngakoue is going to get his trade in,
Okay.
big players usually get what they want.
Yeah.
Fournette needs this year on the Jazz, on the Jag, to
get his value up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. What's your opinion on Fournette? He's still a pretty good running back, I think, if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, he's probably right now the best running back in the AFC South. I'm gonna give him that one.
Oh, what about Derrick Henry?
Yeah, Derrick Henry too.
I had to do it, but I mean, he's second best. He's second best.
I hate the Titans the most, man. That's why I'm not trying to,
I hear you. We could be talking about Jonathan Taylor a year from now like that.
Yeah, Taylor is he's gonna be something.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, good episode. Good preview of the Jags. The fans might not like it, but I think most people understand they're in a little bit of a rebuild. No one's being realistic about making the playoffs, really. If they do, it will be a shock, in my opinion. But they're going to continue to build, go young, build and develop. And the Jags in a couple of years could be something to deal with. So thanks again. Thanks, Dustin. Good shit as always. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And peace out.